Hello, FPL managers. Glad to have you back. FPL is finally back. The long wait is over. Just this Tuesday, FPL is back, and that means that FPL Ambassador show is back. And we are glad to have you here. Thanks for everything from last season. Rowland, how are you? And how have you enjoyed your FPL break?
I'm well. I'm good. You've pulled me back from my break. This is so premature, but it's been a good break, all in all. I mean, it's not been bad at all.
Okay.
How about you?
Me, I've enjoyed the breaks that I've been waiting anxiously for the past 2 weeks for FPL to come, just as the pictures were released, and FPL was just trying to play some delay tactics with us, and they didn't know whether to launch the game in June, which we expected, and all of a sudden it came just this July. So, the wait is worth it, but finally we are in. Sure. So, FPL is finally back, and we are all glad that it's launched. The only funny thing, see how Jesus was very happy, jubilating the Jesus has switched teams to us now. But FPL is FPL. So this is episode 46. Thanks to managers for all that they have done to support us. We started last season, all throughout the season, bringing us as far. So Roland, now that the FPL has been launched, what are your quick takes from FPL so far this since it was launched?
Okay, to be fair, I've not even taken a look at exactly what is there. I mean, just the usual suspects of Salah being 13 million. You know, the game itself is a stress. Yes, it's a stressful game. So I don't want to even start thinking about it now. I've given myself and I've set a date of 1st August to start looking into FPL proper. But as it is, we are also supposed to provide content to our viewers. So I'll be a bit slack in giving out proper information. But I think just like in any football game, there's a warm-up. So I'm now warming up. So managers, don't be worried. I mean, I'll get there eventually. I'll get there. But the usual suspects, I think there are a couple of things that we expected. The only downside that I noticed was Bowen being 8.5. I think that's right. That's high. Apart from that, all the other prizes, I think have been priced
okay. Okay. So not bad. But what do you say about Son being 12 million? What do you say about Son being? Hey, he deserves it,
and he merits it.
So you didn't want them to make him 11 million for us so that we could manage it. 12 million, the challenge is on a very high side, though, Charlie. What do you think?
I like the diversity in teams, right? Already, if you just take pop glances at the experts teams, they are all similar. I'm wondering where Pedro Neto is coming from. I'm wondering where Rashford is coming from. All the teams, they are 90% the same, right? There's no real change. So definitely, most managers will go in for Son and Salah. It's for you to make the decision. That's how it's supposed to be tough. FPL is supposed to be tough. I think it's a bit one way.
You like it when it's tough. You don't like it when people are always following the template. You want to see the difference, the metal, people's ability to be able to play the game as well. Sure. Exactly. So that's very true there. So amongst all the things I've realized is you know that there's some new players. So managers, this we are going to have a preseason series, so about 4 preseason shows before the main this is just an introductory one, just to welcome FPL back to us. Next season will happen. So we won't be able to do every single thing you need for game week 1, but it's going to be in bits so that you know that you can always get something new from us, and then we're following the preseason games as well, so that by game week 1 we'd have fine-tuned our team to the very best of nature as well. The only sad thing is actually that I hear there are no 4.5 forwards and then 4.5 midfielders in the game. So I don't know why they've taken on. So we made all of them 5.0, 5.5. So Charlie. Yes, but
that's what I'm saying. So you're going for a player, you know who you're getting. Everything is let there be
you want difference. You don't want the same template. Everybody having the same.
Let there be a variation. These
Sure.
FPL experts, by the time FPL kicks on, 90% of the managers will have 90% of the same team.
Oh, it's very interesting. Okay, so that said, the big at the back is really looking at on people's minds so far. Looking at either playing four back. Some are even thinking of playing 5 back. I spoke with Alex today. You know Alex, the 2021 Ghana champion. Yes, I know. I'm saying for the purpose of viewers. So you know, Alex is thinking of playing a 5-3-2. Charlie, Alex is thinking of playing a 5. So he's going to play all the big guys at the back, the Chilwell, Trent, Cancelo, then maybe Perisic and Co, and then see how you go about it. But it's all good. All of these are just introduction. But whatever plan that you have as managers is subject to how the teams will actually play in preseason. So, like, guys are looking at Perisic. The point to be, how will Conte play? We know Conte is going to play as a wing back, but this is going to be somebody's going to use him. Richarlison has Richarlison. It's moved to Spurs. Is Conte going to play him ahead of Kulusevski, or going to play Kulusevski ahead of Richarlison? So all of these dynamics are things that we need to monitor. So whatever teams we have as of now are just first drafts, and as the season goes, we'll be able to make some very, 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 very key changes from there. So that is it there. And then we can't go without talking about the prices. So as you are saying that if managers can notice, there's been a very high increase in some of the highest price rises are that of, so Son has risen by 2 million from 10 million to, I was expecting that he would have at least been 11.5, but 12 million is too much. Kulusevski has risen by 2 million. Bowen has moved by 2 million. Jota, as you said, I think Jota is 9 million, then Saka is 8.5, and Jota has been moved to a forward. Raymond Nketsiah is at 7 million. Cancelo has moved, Madison has moved. So these are some of the very high price. And budgets, the three budget guys we're looking at last season: Gerhardt, Ramsey, and Marvin's favorite was Ramsey. Marvin loved Ramsey a lot. I really like Gordon and Gerhardt because it allowed me to have either a 5-4-1 or 4-5-1 formation. Rowland, who do you think is worth the rise, that huge rise so far?
Like I said, I think Son deserves it. Kulo deserves it. Bowen, I thought would be made 8 million. The rest is, it doesn't surprise. Nothing that surprises
me. Okay.
Yes.
Nothing else surprises you.
No.
I was expecting that Gerhardt would have been 5 million, but they made him 5.5. He didn't play that much. He was always like comes as a substitute and comes to play much there. But Charlie, my guy to watch again will be Mateta. Charlie, you know the very funny thing that all the Crystal Palace forwards, so Benteke, Edward, and Mateta, I think they're all 5.5. I'm like, how?
Okay.
So it makes it that it's quite, you know, first you think one will be the bench guy, but I think FPL this is going to be quite tricky, and it is going to be very interesting. So looking at how the price points have all been there, so that is with the price rises there. Some have also dropped as well, but we're not concerned about price have dropped. So Cancelo is officially 7 million there. Now these are the top 5 goalkeepers from last season and their prices now. You know the very interesting thing, there is no 6.0 goalkeeper this year. Should we clap for FPL for giving us that, or what do you think?
Well, they've done well. It's not bad.
It's not bad. So you know, normally Alisson and Edison are normally 6 million, but Charlie, this year there isn't any of that. So we'll look at it there. Do you Mendy is a player that most managers are looking at. Mendy is 5.0. Do you think Mendy will be worth? It will be better to spend an extra 0.5 to buy Mendy than rather buying a 4.5 like Raya or Dubravka or something like that?
Okay, so in order for you to have different players in your team, I would, you know, spending 5 million on a keeper at the start of the season is not easy. So most definitely I'll go 4.5 because when usually these big teams start, it's difficult for them to go on clean sheet runs. So if definitely, most managers will definitely have a Chelsea asset in defense, whether Chilwell or James. So for now, you'll be able to assess and getting 0.5 to upgrade to a Mendy shouldn't be a problem for a 4.5 goalkeeper. These are my early thoughts anyway. But what do you think?
So your plan is that rather let's go with the 4.5, and it's always easier to move from 4.5 to 5 million as compared to moving from 4.5 to 5.5. So let's go with the guy that we know that can do the job, and then as just for the first few weeks, and if we monitor and see that the Chelsea clinches are really, really assured, then we change. Okay, that's a very interesting thing. But somebody's looking at that. Why do you book a transfer ahead of time? Why don't you get Mendy from the scratch at 5.0? And then you know what to do also. But I think that the Chelsea's fixtures for the first 4 or 5 games are tricky. That is why, so as you are saying, after game week 4 somewhere there, the fixtures will get a little bit better, and then you can make that upgrade as well. So it's interesting there. So let's look at the defenders. What's your take on the defenders? Trent finally didn't get the 8 million. You know, I expected Trent to be like 8 million, and Charlie, he didn't hit the 8 million. Charlie, we are some of us are really happy because if he hit 8 million, it would have been quite very tough for us to get our boy Trent. What do you say about the defenders here?
The defenders, I'm not surprised by what I'm seeing. Cancelo, we expected him to be 7 million. Trent, I expected. What was he last season?
Last season started at 7.5.
You see, he started the season just like Salah, and towards the end of the season, he dipped. So
you want to take a Salah dick already?
Yeah, because you look at. I'm not surprised that Robertson is 7, right?
Sure.
Because I haven't expected him to even be at par with Alexander-Arnold, because the way he ended the season, I felt that he had merited it.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
Yes. So I think that there's no real surprise there. Matip, yes, after his exploits last season, you expect him to be 6 million. Van Dijk never changes in price.
Van Dijk never would.
He never changes in price. So we are good.
Okay, good. So what do you think? Would you you're saying that looking at how Robertson ended last season, how Robertson ended last season, and the difference between him and Trent at 0.5, would you take a risk to go with Robo instead of Trent if you have to? If assuming you are on a very tight budget, such that you don't have that extra 0.5 to go to Trent, would you say that okay, this is now I'll go with Robo, or how would you go around it?
Okay, so my initial thoughts will be to go with Robo, even before having to deal with the dilemma of Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. I'll pick Robo any day, any time. But the fear of missing out is what causes managers to go TA. When the fixtures pile up, he doesn't have an understudy. Now Ramsey has been brought in, so maybe you'll be given a couple of games to play. But Robertson has an understudy in Tsimikas. So it makes it easier. So you could tell that Alexander-Arnold wasn't out of last season. He started 15 points, 12 points, 10 points, 6 points. He was getting all those points. But getting to the end, it tapered off a little bit because he wasn't himself. Fatigue has set in. But now, this is the real challenge for the two of them this season, to be able to kick. I think that Robertson also wants to.
And then now Trent has a backup as well. They've gotten a backup as well.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said.
So do you think it will push Trent to go higher, or you think that still Robo would, looking at how Robo ended last season, Robo might be able to catch up?
Okay, so now if I watch with my eyes,
the crystal ball, the one with the ice.
Yes, Salah and I've been on that wavelength for some time now.
Okay.
Now, with Mane leaving the club, now we have to see the dynamics of the team. Diaz is not so strong in the air. If you look at it, Jota is okay in the air. Firmino is also not bad, but out of then the Darwin guy. So now you are watching. Yes. So now you need to know where each person or each player plays. Salah is conk, but if Robertson is playing on that left with Diaz, then you know that you get a couple of chances. So looking at it, it's for now 50-50 until I see some how do you call preseason games. But I think Robertson is good to go. If you want to take him, just go ahead. Yes, and stick with him. Because at the end of the season, believe you me, it will just be some 20 points difference, if anything.
Okay. That's true there. Okay. So that is it there. So that's the defenders. So look at the other players as well. Sorry, looks like my machine has freezed just a bit there. But then, as I wait for my machine to sort out, but then we'll talk about Perisic, and then Trippier. What's your take on Perisic, Trippier, and Doherty this season? Defenders.
Okay, so now if you can tell who first choice players are, it will help. At the beginning of the season, you taking risks. From last season, that's what I realized. You know, there wasn't a lot in players being changed, right? We went for players that were conk, you knew would start. Robertson was out. Tsimikas was a punt. Tsimikas, everyone knew Tsimikas will start. TA will start. Now, Perisic, is he going to fight with Sessegnon? Has Reguilon left the club? And you know, season by season, managers can change their preferences. So depending on what he sees in preseason, that is what will determine the players who will play. Yes, Perisic hasn't come and sit on a bench. But now the question is, would he be able to play, you know, looking at how vigorous the EPL is, will he be bedded into the team or will he start straight away? Look at Trippier. He just came in and seamlessly joined the Newcastle team and looked very good. For a player like him, I don't mind having him in my team. Then for a player like Doherty, I mean, with how fluid the Spurs attack looked for the last 10 games before the end of the season when he got injured, he looked good. So I'll pick him any day, so long as they don't buy any other defender, you know. And you know that you get to hear that he's also fit to start the season. I'll go Doherty over Trippier, then over Perisic.
Okay. That's one I said there. Okay, good. So, sorry, my machine has frozen. Okay, it's not allowing me to.
Oh, don't worry. I
move.
think the midfielders is on. So
midfielders is showing. Yes. Great. Okay, great. So the midfielders. What is about the midfielders there?
Okay, so for the midfielders, like I said, Son being at 12 is good. De Bruyne being at 12 is also good. Now you get to pick between the two. Yes. Maddison, I would stay away from Bowen from now. Maddison looks good at the 8 million. De Bruyne looks good at 12. Son looks good at 12. Then Salah. So now it's a choice. Right? now that we know that Sterling is joining Chelsea, it leaves enough room for us to determine the players that will play. So Mahrez becomes a good option.
Are you saying Mahrez is not a good option, or is somebody we should avoid, despite less players to compete with?
No, the reason why, you know, Mahrez is one of those players that you can get. I mean, he's burned you a lot of times, I'm aware. But with the departure of Jesus and the departure of Sterling, it only makes sense that Mahrez owns that.
Mahrez, my boy.
Yes. So even though Julian Alvarez has been bought and there's another player, I've forgotten his name, has been bought. I think.
They promoted one of their youth guys up.
Exactly. So knowing Pep, he's not going to play Cole Palmer every week. So yes, De Bruyne's game changed towards the latter part of the season, and I feel like he'll kick on the season with that too. But like you always to make room for other players. Most managers are going for Haaland because everyone is falling for the Werner trick again. Oh, you hit the season running. You have to. Here we did. Anyone time. We will sit here and we will come back and tell whether he really hits the ground running or not.
Okay, true. So the point. Somebody was making a point about De Bruyne is that De Bruyne normally doesn't start the season very strong. He warms himself into the season. So De Bruyne always has a point whereby he changes gears. So somebody saying that don't start with De Bruyne to start the season. You can have maybe a Haaland or whichever player, but
that
know that
sense.
somewhere around game week 6, when De Bruyne has finally warmed himself, then you make the switch, and then you know that De Bruyne is a mainstay in your team. So those are the takes on some of the midfielders there. So now, any other midfielder that comes to mind? Are you aware that Rashford is at 6.5? Your own Rashford is at 6.5 million.
Yeah, I've seen it, and that could be a real steal for us this season. Rashford has been, he's not had a better season, and at 6.5, even if you don't get him in early, it will be easier to get him into your team. So it's not a bother for me.
Okay, not bad then. Managers are asking, where from this Pedro Neto pick? Why do you think that Pedro Neto is on people's radar? What is happening?
It's because one FPL manager mentioned him in his what do you call it? In one of his takes. The FPL Twitter community just needs one person to bring up a team, and that is the end. Every other manager will copy the team, dito, and leave just two players for change. That's because you wonder why. I don't know if Wolves have a good start to the season though. I've not watched the fixtures. I don't know how it looks like. Wolves have what? They have a good start.
Yes, Wolves have quite a good start to the season. Not necessarily the very best per se, but they have quite a good start to the season. So Pedro Neto is somebody. You know why I was saying that I wanted to finish drafting my team before the game is launched, so that I have those I actually know I want before somebody will come and say this, and then everybody's mind is going there. So when I drafted my team about 2 weeks ago on livefpl.net, I had Pedro Neto in there. So I'm not surprised Pedro Neto has now come and people are mentioning me. I had him already in my draft. So I'm not really that bothered.
Forget him.
For information, Neto was injured for much part of last season. But Neto, the one in managers' recent memory is that Neto scored against Liverpool in that final game last season, game 38. So it's not like as if he was doing the job with Jimenez and then got injured whole of last season. So it's not like he wasn't. But you know what? Jimenez got injured 2 seasons ago, and it was Neto, Podence, and Cole that were holding the team, and then Traore were holding the team. Now that Neto is back, and he scored against Liverpool game with 38 last season, guys are saying that he will transfer the forward to this season. So what are you saying about the forwards? Forwards. What's your take on the forwards? Yes, the forwards, no.
Okay, so you have Kane, Ronaldo, Antonio, Tony. Vardy, I'll stay away from, to be fair. Vardy is
wait. Roland. We always do this thing about Vardy. We always say that, Vardy is quite tricky. Vardy is this, and then we won't start the season with Vardy. We'll always say, by the time you see them, bang, Vardy hits again. Almost every single year, Vardy does the trick against us, and we still don't learn. Are you saying that still we should avoid Vardy this season, or we should go with Vardy? What are you saying?
For me, it's an avoid.
Okay, so what about what I say? Did I say Antonio? Antonio and Ronaldo. What do you say about them?
Ronaldo is good at his price points, and I think I wouldn't know, but are the fixtures good for United?
The fixtures are come ça. They are like this, like that's for United at the start. But West are also saying that Ten Hag, by the time the season might start, Ten Hag might be able to do the job. But the point is also that this Ronaldo we are even talking about, Ronaldo himself wants to even leave Man U. So Charlie,
yeah.
Charlie, what should we do? What is so? Rowland, you are a Man U fan, so let me take your view on this. As a Man U fan, do you want Ronaldo to leave or do you want Ronaldo to stay? And what are the reasons for that?
To be honest, I care less.
Are you saying that you care less about your team or care less about Man U? Which is which?
No. I care less about the Ronaldo saga and all of that. All we need is for the season to start. And there'll definitely be standouts. Players will come up. I mean, players like Martial, like Rashford.
Martial. Hey, you.
They I feel they will thrive under this guy more than United will thrive better with skillful players than just a focal point in Ronaldo. That's the thing for me. If Ronaldo goes, thinking about it may be a blessing for us. Because like Jamie Carragher said,
some people are saying that.
Yeah, as Jamie Carragher said, he said you'd get the point, you'd score the goals, but you disjoint, you cause a disjoint in your team, right? You cause a disjoint in your team because he's always asking for the ball. If you don't pass him, he gets angry. He wants to take a shot every time. He wants to. But between Rashford, Martial, yes, those players, they are greedy in their own rights. But there is that kind of cohesion. We are playing for one another, right? And as soon as Ole signed Ronaldo, I knew that was his downfall.
We said it. My boy said, "Oh, we are jealous. We don't want Man U to have a good goal scorer and stuff like that."
So that's it.
Okay. The slides. My machine is behaving terribly as of now, so I'm not able to navigate properly. But I'm still trying to sort it out. So managers, please bear with me. I'm sure the slides will be able to come up quickly again back on.
Yeah, so managers, I think that Raymond was having a bit of a challenge, but like we're also talking about forwards. I think Kane won't be a bad forward for this season. I think that everyone's attention will be drawn to Son. Well, if Kane can also give you those assists, and he's on penalties as well, so it makes it fairly easier for him to make the team. And he's 11.5. I think 0.5 cheaper than Son. I would have preferred him to be 11 million or 10.5. I think like he started last season, but because of the number of assists, the sheer number of assists that he's had, I think that's the main reason why he also, got that kind of price rise. I see it to be an opportunity for managers to explore, in the sense that it won't be a one-way pick, because now De Bruyne is 12, Son is 12, Salah is 12. Now, if 12 times 3, right? So you get that 36 out of your 100 million budget. That's a lot of God. Before you try and get Trent into your team, you would also try to get maybe a James or a Chilwell into your team. Looking at it, so by the time you get maybe 7 to 8 players, you'd be around 70 million, and you'd have to accommodate for the remainder of the 7. So that is where the real crux of the matter is. It allows you to make the best decisions for your team. And if you feel that a player is is worth taking a punt on. I think that this is the best season to do that. Give yourself that kind of opportunity for the to take those kind of punts. Also, before the season starts, I think that we would get in touch with the winner of the FPL Ambassadors show. We'll get in touch with him, and as we promised the cash prize, he'd receive his cash prize. That's assured. And I know Raymond will be back soon to join us, but I'm just trying to keep us all company. I'm a bit surprised how he's kept so long, but I think very shortly he'll be able to join us. So you can pass comments. You can let us know how your season went. Are you in the FPL fever mood, or you are not like I am, where I'm so disinterested? And I just wanted to take a break until 1st of July. Raymond kept pestering me with us starting. But I mean, hey, it's all good. I'm tired, but what we have to do is what we have to do, and this is what we signed up for, to be able to make managers happy. And those that can go back and watch the show, kindly like, kindly share, also subscribe to the channel. I think we had an operation, is it 300, to get managers on, and since that time we've not still reached our target. I think that when we started so well, getting managers on board and all of that, but it seems to have taken a bit of a dip. And we encourage managers, and we are pleading with managers to also share, to like, to subscribe to the channel. That is what will also encourage us as we go on, that we have many viewers, we have many subscribers who really appreciate the content that we are putting out there. We go out there, you work from morning to evening, you get tired, but you still come back. With the other experts, they are doing this full time. This is sort of a part-time job that doesn't pay us anyway, but we do it for the love of it. We do it because we appreciate the fact that we are able to help one another. And I think that people who joined last season can attest to the fact that they enjoyed the season, and they were able to also get or do well in their mini leagues, and I think that it's not bad at all. Viral update says that the more leagues you get to join, the more fun your FPL season becomes, and that's very true. Because if you are in, say, 10 mini leagues, now if you are first in one, and you are second in one, and you are third in the other, it gives you the opportunity for you to assess the various managers, how they think, how they make moves. Are they patient? Are they rush in making their decisions? So all those things, they are very important for us to be able to assess. Yes, and I think that it helps. He wants us to join his mini league, and I'm sure soon we will also launch the FPL Ambassadors League. We had so many managers joining, and we had so many and so little subscribers to our channel. I think that Raymond has gone off, but he had a bit more of content to show us. Let me see if I can press on and try and get us to the finish line, so that he'd also. So looking at the content that we have here, after we finished with that, we would have looked at the fixtures, and the fixtures of the various teams, those who have how do you call it? Those who have the fixture, like the fixture difficulty rankings. Then you have a look at it, then you can tell that Arsenal has the best fixtures for the next 8 game weeks, followed by Brighton, followed by Man City, Liverpool, Brentford, Leeds, Wolves. I think that looking at this goes to show that Fulham is the team with the most difficult start. So those of you who love your Mitrovic and you love your defenders, it should be something that we should all be watching and taking into consideration. So I think that Raymond had a few teams that he had on board, but looking at it, he was looking at teams from social media. So we had Mendy, Alexander-Arnold, Chilwell, Perisic, Laporte, Robertson, Son, Luis Diaz, Neto, Haaland, and Jesus. Now we've seen that Haaland is more of a popular pick, just like when Werner came in, he was a popular pick. Then, so managers, just be careful you don't also fall for that. Let's try and see preseason games. If he hits the ground running, it's a bye-bye. But if not, we have to watch it. Then also you look at another team. It has Salah, it has Neto, it has Son, has Haaland, it has Awoniyi, Perisic, Laporte, James, Tomiyasu, Alexander-Arnold, and Mendy. So these are the various teams that came out. And I think that as time goes on, as the show goes on, we'll be able to tell managers what exactly we have in store for them. So Emmanuel Nyama, not to worry, we'll get into contact with you. If you're watching the show, if there's anyone watching the show who can leave us with a contact, we'll be very grateful. Raymond couldn't join us to the end of the show, but I'm just grateful that we've been able to get this one out of the way. So this is our first preseason show, and I would just like to say a big thank you to everyone. And definitely Raymond will be back to end the live streaming. So I'll leave you for now. Goodbye, managers. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.